atmosphere and activities for all ages. Tennis, swimming, and a playground. But the fun doesn't stop after dark. There's even a bar and an arcade. And if you aren't ready to go home yet, we've even got a spacious room for your comfort, complete with air conditioning, Wi-Fi, and a private bathroom. The Toucan Mall can also facilitate your event in our spacious conference hall. We also have a theater with films for the entire family. It's the Toucan Mall located in Amelia's Ward, Linden.
Hello, my name is Dr. Brooke Goldner, and I'm a board-certified physician, and I am specialized in disease reversal using nutrition. Now, before I ever became a doctor, I actually was a patient. I was diagnosed at 16 years old with lupus. I had stage 4 kidney failure. I had blood clots that caused mini strokes. I endured years of chemotherapy and steroids just to survive. Now, all I've ever learned never helped me with my health. It was always about survival. I did 3 years of genetic research at Carnegie Mellon. I went to medical school. I was chief resident, and yet I still needed medicine to survive. 12 years I was sick. And then 15 years ago, I changed my diet to a plant-based diet. I got rid of dairy, no animal products, and within 3 months, the lupus was gone. I have been healthy for 15 years with no sign of disease. I've had children, and I've dedicated my life to this. And over the past decade, I have helped thousands of people reverse lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, multiple sclerosis, diabetes, heart disease, #1 killer, all by getting them to stop eating meat and dairy and eggs and focus on vegetables and high-nutrient plant foods. And the results are consistent, and they are profound. As a doctor, my colleagues can attest to the fact that we are chasing down an epidemic of disease that we cannot hope to catch up to or overtake because people are getting sicker with every meal they eat. But you can make that difference because people don't know who to trust. But if the dietary guidelines say that people should be focusing on a plant-based diet full of vegetables and fruits, and they should be limiting or eliminating meat and dairy and eggs, they will have at least the right information to start making better decisions. Listen, both as a doctor that is desperately trying to save lives, and as a former patient who has almost died many times because I didn't have this information, I beseech you to take this seriously. This decision about what's recommended to the public about what they eat should not be based off of what's good for industry. It should be based on what's good for human health. And there are people who are suffering and dying right now from the lack of this information. So I ask you to take that seriously. The literature is clear, and the results we see are true. When you eliminate meat, dairy, and eggs, people's health gets better. So please recommend a plant-based diet. Encourage people to limit or eliminate animal foods so that you can save lives. Please help me with this mission. I appreciate your time. Thank you for your attention.
It's really quite clear from the standpoint of cancer and the standpoint of cardiovascular disease that animal protein plays an enormous role.
Is chicken better?
It's a question of whether you want to be shot or hung.
The flesh food that I would eliminate from the American diet would be poultry, would be turkey and chicken. A brilliant advertising campaign has convinced people that, oh, it's white meat, it's healthier.
The #1 reason for antibiotic resistance, the #1 reason little girls have menstruation at 7 and 8 years old, the #1 reason women have menopause now 10 years sooner than their moms is because people are consuming more and more hormones that come from animals. And the animal of choice today for you yuppie, hippie, natural eaters happen to be chicken.
The truth is, even though chicken flesh and turkey flesh has its reputation with light, healthy meat, the truth is, it's the most unhealthy of all the flesh foods.
We have about a 21% higher cardiovascular mortality rate in the black community of this country. And it really does have to do with the diet, the Southern diet. And what they really mean by that is soul food. More cholesterol, more saturated fat, not just chicken, but fried chicken. That's a combination that is set up for heart disease, kidney disease, stroke, and death.
When they exhumed the tissue from breast cancer, they found salmonella in almost every single specimentation that most likely came from you eating organic chicken.
We sent researchers into fast food and family restaurants. Not only were there carcinogens in every single restaurant, but we found them in every single chicken sample that we took. If somebody brings their family in and they're buying a bucket of chicken, nobody tells them that there are carcinogens. If you're selling carcinogens to people, you've got to warn them that they're in there.
But the American Cancer Society encourages people to switch from red and processed meat to chicken. Why would the American Cancer Society tell people to switch from eating one carcinogenic food to another when a Harvard University study showed that men with prostate cancer who eat large amounts of chicken increased their risk of the disease progressing 4 times?
The number one dietary source in America of cholesterol is chicken because of the volume of chicken. You know, chicken's become grilled chicken and organic chicken. It's machismo, but it has nearly as much cholesterol per gram as red beef. So just on sheer volume, it's the number one source, eggs being close behind.
Anytime you step out and try to push the frontier of truth, there's going to be pushback. And the sad fact is that Western physicians are Western people, and they are as addicted to these crappy diets as everybody else. And they don't want to believe that these things are unhealthy. But the science is so sound and so incontrovertible that you really can't dismiss it.
Chicken and turkey and poultry dishes have that reputation. Oh, it's healthier. It's white meat, light meat, and it's got this reputation, which in truth is completely undeserved. Let's call things for what they are.
The leading source of sodium in the American diet for adult is chicken. It can be labeled all natural chicken, but be injected with this salt water, I think up to 800 milligrams of sodium.
Heterocyclic amines are clear-cut carcinogens, and they can form in any kind of meat as it's heated, as it's cooked. But by far the biggest source is chicken.
If you look at the incidence of hypertension and diabetes and mortality in men, they actually get reduced as you go higher and higher in terms of how much you restrict animal products.
There are numerous studies linking eating chicken to many different cancers, including prostate, colon, and bladder cancers in particular. This study, conducted at Harvard School of Public Health, found that people who ate more than 5 servings of chicken without skin each week had a 52% increase in bladder cancer risk compared with those who ate none.
There's nothing healthy about eating birds, especially the way they're raised today, and that's another idea they should exit the stage left. We've used up the chicken and turkey, we've used up flesh eating in general. It no longer serves us. It's time for a major evolution on this whole planet to plant-based diets while we still have the time to do that. And chicken and turkeys need to go back to the forest of Asia where they came from, and at least the chickens, the turkeys are American birds. Let them go, let them do what they're used to do out in the wild there, but time to stop eating those birds.
The problem with animal-based diet, its contribution to heart disease is huge, and it is pervasive.
All this expensive imaging, procedures, bypasses, medication, none of which has one solitary single thing to do with the causation of the illness. So you die of a completely benign foodborne illness that never had its causation treated.
When we eat these kind of dead meat bacteria toxins, within minutes, you get this burst of inflammation within your system such that you basically paralyze your arteries. You get this stiffening of the arteries, their inability to relax normally in half. So it's not like decades down the road eating unhealthy, there'll be some damage. No, we're talking damage right then and there within minutes of it going into our mouth.
Many people are given the diagnosis of Alzheimer's disease when it's not true Alzheimer's at all. The vast majority of people suffer dementia due to their tiny blood vessels in their brain clogging up and their nerve cells being shortchanged of oxygenated blood. And guess where that blood vessel dementia comes from? Those little tiny arteries are clogging up from that steady stream of bad cholesterol, etc.
We do not have the dental structure, we don't have the jaw mechanics, we don't have the intestinal structure of an omnivore or carnivore. We are classic herbivores by design. And that's why, for instance, 90% of the people who die from choking every year die eating meat. They're choking on meat. And that's because our teeth, jaw structure, and throat mechanism is not designed to handle this stuff. If, in fact, human beings are omnivores, meaning that we're supposed to eat both meat and plant foods, why is it that eliminating the animal food from our diet makes us healthier, makes us live longer, reduces our risk for developing disease? Well, it's because we really are not omnivores. We are true herbivores. We should not be eating animal food at all.
If you go into most kitchens, you'll find aluminum foil in one of the drawers. It's a pretty common kitchen staple that's used for cooking, wrapping, even to treat certain common ailments. People have been using aluminum foil for years, often on a daily basis. What you might not know is that a recent study has found that there are things about this kitchen staple that you don't know, and you need to. Doctors are warning that you should probably stop using aluminum foil right away. Aluminum is a neurotoxic-rich material. It can have serious side effects on the function of your brain. It's also been associated with Alzheimer's disease. Many doctors believe that exposure to this heavy metal can cause adverse effects that can last a long time. A few issues that are caused by this metal include loss of balance, memory issues, lack of coordination, loss of bodily control, and mental decline. Researchers have also found that when you cook with aluminum foil, it can have an effect on your bones. Aluminum can build up in your bones when you use it for cooking, and that can take the place of calcium in your bones, reducing your bone strength. In time, frequent use of aluminum foil could cause your bones to break more easily. It's not just the brain and the bones that can be affected by cooking with aluminum foil either. Studies have shown that its use has been linked to pulmonary fibrosis as well. The study also showed that if you inhale aluminum particles, it can result in respiratory problems. And that often occurs when you grill using aluminum foil. If you cook with aluminum foil at very high temperatures, part of the metal can be emitted into the food, making it unsafe to eat. A chemical engineer researcher at the American University of Sharjah, Dr. Essam Zubaidi, evaluated the effects of aluminum and cooking, and his study found that when you cook one meal in aluminum foil, it can introduce up to 400 milligrams of aluminum into your food. According to the World Health Organization, the recommended daily allowance of aluminum is limited to only 60 milligrams a day. Since you can get 400 milligrams introduced in your food when you use it to cook in just one meal, you can see how dangerous this really is. Furthermore, the higher the temperature, the more leaching occurs, and the more dangerous your food becomes. The doctor also found that while cooking with foil is a bad idea, it's even worse when you use it to cook vegetables like tomatoes, citrus juices, or spices. Unlike vitamins, minerals, and iron, our bodies don't need aluminum. Also, our body is not able to process it correctly. Since your body can't process aluminum, you wonder what happens to it after it's ingested? Studies have shown that it accumulates in your brain, lungs, kidney, liver, and even your thyroid, and that can put your health in great jeopardy. Aluminum can damage your central nervous system as well. Even worse, aluminum has been linked to autism in children. When children are exposed to aluminum in their drinking water, it can cause bone, brain, and kidney disease. Research has shown that aluminum can cause toxic stress on your brain. If your brain stores too much aluminum, it can result in MS, epilepsy, ADD, Alzheimer's, chronic fatigue syndrome, and other serious neurological disorders.
Looking for a place for the whole family? Come down to the Toucan Mall in Amelia's Ward, Linden. It's the mall that has it all. We have great food, a relaxing atmosphere, and activities for all ages. Tennis, swimming, and a playground. But the fun doesn't stop after dark. There's even a bar and an arcade. And if you aren't ready to go home yet, we've even got a spacious room for your comfort, complete with air conditioning, Wi-Fi, and a private bathroom. The Toucan Mall can also facilitate your event in our spacious conference hall. We also have a theater with films for the entire family. It's the Toucan Mall located in Amelia's Ward, Linden.
Fruits and vegetables are among the healthiest foods on the planet. They come with vitamins, minerals, and pesticides. Yes, unfortunately, that's the harsh reality. While researching for this video, I found that the books and even Google was not enough. So to bring the most authentic information to you, I went to different vegetable and fruit markets. I discussed this issue with the real people, the vendors there. Even visited a nearby field, met a few farmers so that we know what really is going on at the grassroots level. Sadly, almost 99% of the crops are treated with chemical pesticides. The residue of these pesticides is present on the fruits and vegetables when you buy them in the grocery store. The most shocking part is that even after washing these fruits and vegetables for continuously 15 seconds in running tap water does not remove the chemical residue. This is a serious problem of the day, and in this video I'll share with you the best and the most practical solution to resolve this issue. So without any further delay, let's get started. Hello friends, welcome to FitTuber. In the past decade or so, there has been a tremendous increase in the use of chemical pesticides to meet the needs of overgrowing population. Eating fruits and vegetables without properly removing the pesticide residue may lead to food poisoning, diarrhea, hormonal issues, skin and hair problems, and even long-term deadly diseases of brain, kidney, lung and cancer. Almost every crop today is treated with chemical pesticides. Now before I come to the solution, let me just quickly share with you what and how this is done. So basically there are three types of chemical agents used on fruits and vegetables to bring out what actually you see at the grocery store. First, the ripening agents. Fruits like banana and mangoes are treated with ripening agents, mostly calcium carbide. Obviously this is done so that fruits and vegetables reach the market before season and can fetch more profit. The problem with industrial calcium carbide is that it contains heavy metals like lead and arsenic, which are dangerous for the human body. Secondly, coating agents like wax and DPA are used mostly on fruits like apples, grapes and almost every exotic fruits which travel the 7 seas to reach your doorstep. The purpose of doing this is to preserve the moisture and the consistency of the fruits during cold storage and transportation so that they look fresh on the shelf. Have you noticed a white powder sprinkled mostly on red and black grapes? It is a chemical agent to prevent the grapes from getting soggy. Wax is a petroleum product, while DPA reacts with nitrogen in air to form nitrosamine, which is a suspected carcinogen. See, the solution of these two problems is very obvious. First, never eat fruits and vegetables which are not in season. Secondly, ditch all the foreign exotic fruits and vegetables and switch to local produce. This way not only you will save yourself from these chemicals, but also the foods you will buy will be cheaper, more easily absorbed by your body, and not to forget, doing this you will be helping the local farmers and in turn the Indian economy. Now coming to third chemical agents, which are worst of all, are the pesticides. There are systematic pesticides which are put in the bottom of the tree nearer to the roots so that they are absorbed by the plant, and they will be in the leaves, stems, fruits, flowers for about 10 to 15 weeks. Then there are contact pesticides which are sprayed on the surface of the plant, fruits and vegetables. These are the main culprits, as the residue of these pesticides remain on the fruits and vegetables even after you bring them to your home. But we can get rid of them. Now the most obvious solution is to buy organic food. Although it's not that organic foods are not treated with pesticides, it's just that they use safer alternatives. However, considering the soaring prices of organic foods, it might not be a practical solution for many of us. So let me share with you a very simple way which has been proven to remove almost 98% of pesticide residue. Yes, all you need to do is put the contaminated fruits and vegetables in one place in a container and pour enough water in it. Now put 1 tablespoon of baking soda in it. Baking soda is easily available in grocery shops. I have even linked it down in the description box. Now leave the container for about 15 to 20 minutes. Now wash them thoroughly with running tap water. Baking soda, that is sodium bicarbonate, known for its alkalizing nature, helps remove almost 98% of the pesticide residue from fruits and vegetables. This is an easy easy yet very effective way of removing pesticides from fruits and vegetables. So next time and every time you buy fruits and vegetables, make them go through this process. There are some more tricks which help you minimize the effect of pesticides. For example, whenever you want to wash something like cabbage or onions, always make it a habit to peel off the first layer, then wash them in baking soda solution. Then if a fruit or vegetable has skin which you won't be using, even then do not shy away from washing it with baking soda. For example, when you cut an unwashed muskmelon, some part of the pesticide residue from the surface goes inside. Next, in order to diminish the effect of systematic pesticides, it is recommended to keep the lid open while cooking the vegetables. The agricultural scientists say that with steam, pesticides inside and outside the body of vegetables move upwards. Well, it can't be said that using all these practices we can make our fruits and vegetables 100% free of pesticides. But there is no doubt about the fact that these are highly effective methods to reduce the effect of pesticides and other chemical agents to as much as possible. And frankly, this is the best we can do as a smart consumer. After talking with local vendors and farmers, I came to know that there are certain fruits and vegetables which are heavily treated with chemicals. As the mango season is approaching, be ready for chemically ripened mangoes in the beginning. Bananas are extensively treated with calcium carbide to meet the demands. One easy way to differentiate is that naturally ripened bananas have black or brown stalk, whereas chemically ripened bananas have green stalk. Tomatoes are very heavily treated with pesticides. Other heavily treated fruits and vegetables include grapes, papaya, brinjal, etc. Then I also got to know that there are vegetables which require least amount of pesticides. These include mostly the ones which are grown underground like onions, potatoes, sweet potatoes, carrots, radish, etc. Even the green leafy vegetables do not require a lot of pesticides. So you have another reason to eat them more often. This was just for your awareness, although I would still highly recommend you to wash all the fruits and vegetables that you buy in baking soda solution. Even a small residue of pesticide, our body finds it very difficult to get rid of and it gets deposited in the adipose tissue. Now here's something interesting to know. Since most pesticides used are lipophilic pesticides dissolving in oily surfaces, that's where ancient Ayurvedic techniques like oil pulling are really helpful. If you have seen my video on oil pulling, you will know that the way it removes the toxins from the body is by attracting the toxins in oil. Go watch it and start oil pulling today. So what's the takeaway from this video? Avoid fruits and vegetables which are not in season. Ditch the foreign exotic foods and switch to local produce. Always wash the fruits and vegetables with baking soda solution. Remove the first layer of foods like cabbage and onion before washing. Keeping the lid open while cooking helps minimize the effect of pesticides. Some foods are heavily treated while others are not. Choose wisely. Buy organic foods whenever possible. Start oil pulling to get the deposited toxins out from the body. As a smart consumer, let's be aware and do as best as we can. Like switching to organic food products.
Linden. It's the mall that has it all. We have great food, a relaxing atmosphere, and activities for all ages. Tennis, swimming, and a playground. But the fun doesn't stop after dark. There's even a bar and an arcade. And if you aren't ready to go home yet, we've even got a spacious room for your comfort, complete with air conditioning, Wi-Fi, and a private bathroom. The Toucan Mall can also facilitate your event in our spacious conference hall. We also have a theater with films for the entire family. It's the Toucan Mall located in Amelia's Ward, Linden.
Mom in the young years. You heard me? So you look like you were a hot mom in your younger years. Alrighty, she says I'm on live. Very good evening to all of you. Welcome to our program once again. And my operator tricked me. She didn't tell me that we were online. So you must have heard a little bit of something that you should not have heard, but that's okay. It wasn't bad. It was good. Anyhow, it's Thursday afternoon, evening, September 26th, 25th, 26th, 26th, believe it or not. September 26th, 2019 is already here, and it's going to be history. It's going to be done soon. And the year is really rushing to an end. So, all of you who made all your predictions about what you're going to do, that you didn't get started yet, you better get going, because before you know it, it's going to be Thanksgiving, U.S. Thanksgiving, and then here's going to be Diwali. After Diwali is over. I mean, Diwali is like Christmas around the corner, you know. So all of you who did make your moves yet to achieve your objectives, including my operator, I'm sorry if the year is going to be done and you might not get started until the next year comes. But she looks really good. She's done everything she could, and she's on top of her game. You know? She doesn't need to lose a single pound more. She doesn't need to lose one more pound. Look, she's modeling in front of me. Anyhow, welcome to our program, and we're here to talk about things that affect people sometimes, and conditions that you may not be getting rid of and all that sort of thing. But I like to give credit where it belongs, right? You know, I always complain about the roads and how bad they are, you know, how disgusting it is to drive on. The Linden-Suzac Highway is still bad and disgusting to drive on. But the East Bank Road has gotten a lot better. You can actually pick the holes now. You know, before you couldn't pick nothing, you were driving into them all the time. But some work was done in some areas, in most areas, and it's much better. Still a few areas to be worked on. But compared to how it was before, it is about 80% better, which is good. The bad thing is, in my opinion, the speed limit going to the airport needs to be increased. You're going to like snail's pace on that road getting to the airport. I mean, it's an area where people live and so on, yes, but I think it should go to 80 just like everything else, and people just need to be careful. You know, 50 kilometers per hour going there is like a trap, just speed trap. Maybe that's what it is. But it's too slow. You know, you're not at the airport to go slow. You're going to the airport where it's like any other road, basically, you know. It should be increased. It was there before, and I don't know what made whoever brought it down bring it down. But it's disgusting to drive there going at 50 kilometers an hour. Like, you know, you're hoping that something happened to somebody there, you know. I hope that somebody's listening who's responsible for that and look at it. Do a little survey, and if you do a survey, turned on, changed. This is a live one, okay? So you could tell everybody to turn back, go back, because I'm here and I want to spend a few minutes talking about a few things, and then we're going to go right into taking some calls, because I know many of you would have would have wished and wondered and hoped maybe that I was here to take your calls and answer your questions and all that sort of thing. But you know what I did? I left some very important clips with information for my operator to present to you guys. And I know she did, and I hope you learned and benefited, because it was information that was passed to me, that was some of it, I mean, you might have never seen or heard, or never known. Some of it you may have known, but others may not have. So we're going to save those clips and play them back from time to time, so that we could maybe pass it on to someone who don't know. Okay? Lots of things have happened since I was here the last time. We had a new year. You know, last time I was here was last year. I haven't seen you since last year, right? I ain't seen you since last year neither. You didn't hear from me live since last year, okay? And I didn't hear from you since last year. But this is 2020, and there are going to be lots of things happening in 2020 for Guyana and Guyanese. I hope that that the right things happen for all of you. I know that many of you would have made resolutions again. What you're not going to do for the new year, how much weight you're not going to lose, what habits you're not going to give up. You know, you did the same thing all the time. But I hope that what you promised yourself that you will do last year, that you did at least 50% of that, so that you have at least another 50% to do this year to, you know, to overcome or to achieve whatever it is that you would have set last year to happen this year, right? Anyhow, I know in your minds you're wondering what I'm going to talk about, but I probably wouldn't talk about what you expect, okay? If you call me regarding anything, I will try to answer you. I'll try to do the best I can to manage your questions as much as I can. And I was warned to hold my mouth because, you know, my story, I speak as it is, and I speak what I think is best for all of us, even though some of you may not agree. I'm a realistic person. I'm a reality person, and I see things based on reality, you know. I feel really sorry for some people regarding what is happening at this time in certain areas. However, I must say that if you believe in God, then He wouldn't give you more than you can bear. Right? He wouldn't provide anything to you that He doesn't think you can handle or you can bear. Okay? Sometimes He does things to you because He wants you to feel certain things or to experience certain things. Sometimes He puts things in front of you to test your ability to resist, you know, or to grasp and make the benefit or make the best of it, you know. Sometimes He takes you to the point where you have to go on your knees to remember that He's still there, right? So whatever it is that that is happening to you today, remember that there's a Savior there somewhere. There's an angel out there somewhere that will come to your assistance or your aid and provide an answer or provide a solution or provide a means to take you beyond the point where you were stuck or where you needed the help. You know, I think that many times we seem to forget that we're not alone. You know, we think we're alone, but we're not alone. You know, for each of us that's out there, doing the things that are God-fearing, there's an angel that's watching you. You know, there's an angel that can hold your hand and take you beyond, or take you to the point where you can see better. You know, those are things that I believe. I mean, this is my belief. You don't have to believe it, but this is just my belief. And I also believe that some of you need to get off of your hindsight and listen to what God is saying to you. you know, and act on it. Act on it. Don't just think it's some by chance situation that you were placed there to be responsible for certain things or to do certain things or to pick up certain things. You know, I was listening to the to the news in the country where I was recently, and something happened to a guy that many of us in Guyana would have taken that and run with it. Okay? There was a vehicle that was taking money to deposit, and one of the canisters fell out of the truck. And it was there, and a gentleman saw it, picked it up, realized what was inside, and he didn't take it to his house. He took it to an institution that I guess it was supposed to go there, and it was a lot of money. You know, it was a lot of money. But he didn't take a penny out of that thing. Can you imagine that happening here? And you know, what would have happened? And we have, of course, we have some people here who would have done the same thing, but I don't know. I don't know. He was tested that day, and I guess he did the right thing, you know. He was given a little reward, but nothing compared to what was in the box. Okay? So sometimes we are tested to see if we can pass the test. And in most cases, that test that we would have had was put there before us to see if we can handle that particular situation because something greater is ahead. Yes, I believe all those things because I've experienced some of those things. Right? So you may be sick today. You may be out today with a condition. And because you're busy doing whatever it is you're doing, and I know someone who's in that situation right now, you may have been stricken with a condition that had you to be in bed. And you're reeling to want to get out there, and you're anxious to get back out there to continue, but you know what? God might have done that, allow that to happen to you, so it can be in that bed to prevent you from some vehicle knocking you down and killing you, or something happening to you that would have taken you to your grave. Right? So even though sometimes the worst things happen to us, we need to somehow try to realize why, deal with it, and eventually it will pass. You know? Some of you wouldn't come out of it because maybe it's time for you to go on your way. It's like that. It's like that. It's reality. You know, so I'm saying all of this to say to you, whatever it is that is in store for you as a human, as a person, as long as you follow the rules, you're going to achieve that objective. You're going to achieve that thing. You're going to accomplish it. As long as you follow the rules. What are the rules? What are the rules? We have laws in health that are put out there for us to follow. Many of us don't follow them. Many of us don't follow the laws of health. Many of us, we see things and we believe that was there, that's there for me to use. You know? That is there for me to eat. So I can bless it and I can eat it. Next thing you know, you got sick on your bed. Or you can't get better. You know? There are laws that are out there that we should follow for more reasons than one, including the health laws. Many of you are in breach of the health laws, and you're sick today because you failed to obey and to follow instructions regarding your health. Many of you have even come to our clinic and haven't gotten any better. Why? Because when you were given instructions to follow the rules, because not I say so, your body says so. You fail to follow the rules, you're still sick or you're gone. You know, I don't write those rules that when your body tells you that you should not consume something, listen to it. It may not be forever. It may be that that thing that you're consuming is contributing to your demise. Actually, your body is saying to you in most instances, don't use this because it's provoking your condition further. When it comes to your diet and what comes out of that system because of what is found in your body, I don't make those rules. I don't present that diet to you. All I do is take the information and pass it on to you. The system is designed that way to detect what is wrong, to help you to understand what you need to do to correct it, and the things that you need to avoid so that you can overcome whatever is wrong. You follow the rules, you get better. 80% of the people will get better. 90% will get better. As a matter of fact, it tells us 96% will get better. Why? Because they will follow the rules. 4% of you will not get better because you're too stubborn and greedy, and your taste buds will take you where you don't want to go. You know? It's not me, it's reality. It's reality. Right? Some of you, I ain't going to go to Dr. Haynes because Dr. Haynes can tell me what to eat and what not to eat. No, when you come to me, I am just putting you through a process that body of yours is telling me what is happening to it, and then it tells you what not to do and what to do to overcome it. Not Dr. Haynes. I just know how to manage, how to operate, how to I was trained to do that, how to go to a foreign country to learn that. To utilize the knowledge so that you could benefit. And you all really want to know why you don't see me much of the time here? It's not because I'm gone on vacation. No. It's because I am out there in other countries, treating people, finding their diseases, taking care of them, just like I do with some of you here. And in some instances, they fly me to go. They call me, they schedule everything, buy the ticket, everything, and I just fly and go there, take care of them, and I come back. So many times when you miss me, it's not because I'm on vacation. I'm out there working, taking care of people who are desperate to get better. And thank God so far, everyone that I've been out there to work with, who follow the rules, and it's almost all of them do it, because they're paying to get it done. They're better. And they're getting better. There may be a few who hasn't gotten better completely, but they're on the right path. Because it takes time. When the body has gotten to the point where your system is almost shut down, it takes miracles sometimes to bring you back. You know? And it takes determination. It takes sacrifice. Many of you don't want to make the sacrifice to get better, but you want to get the results. You want to keep doing the things that make you sick to get better. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. You can't want to take your car to get to Mandela Avenue and drive it in the gutter. Don't work. You would not get there. You got to drive on the road. It's not a hovercraft or a speedboat. It's a car. So you got to drive on the road. Some of you want to drive in the gutter to get there. Talking about that, right now some people got to drive near into the gutter to go past and to get wrong because there's so many vehicles on the road and we've got no new ones. No new roads. But more vehicles. You must nearly at PZZ right now. When I left here, we were PXX. I came back, we had PYY. Just know we're going to go at PZ1 or PZA or whatever. We were what? PZZ, we're going to be at PZZ1 or PZZA, something like that. I know what's going to, I know when the Z finishes, the user Z, what we'll get next. It's got to be something different though. They won't go back to PA. It'll probably be PAA1 or PAB or something like that. But we got more vehicles than we got roads. You know? Anyhow. I just want to open the lines and take some calls because I know many of you got questions. And let me see the phone is working. Phone is working. And I'm just gonna try to answer as much as I can, as late as I am, so that if you have any questions, I can answer to you. I want to say something else to you who are interested in losing weight and overcoming some issues. Good evening.
Good evening.
Turn the volume down a little bit on your
Good evening, Dr.
Good evening, my brother. How are you doing?
I'm not bad, Chief.
Very good, very good.
I take my wife went to the doctor yesterday, right? With a lump push back. But she took an ultrasound, and the ultrasound stated, the ultrasound result was there's fat to she back, right? What do you think can really solve the problem? They give you an ointment to rub it, and so the fat probably with the pain probably will die of it. What do you think about it?
Now, this is my opinion, okay? In the years I've been practicing since 1993, there's no way to keep your rubber weight fat in your back. You gotta have something to melt that fat. I don't doubt that the ultrasound, I don't doubt the results. Okay, I doubt the method that is to be used to remove the fat. You need to get something, first of all, she needs to change her diet. Okay, and unfortunately, when you go to those places, they don't advise you on dietary changes for the most part. You've got to, she has to modify the way she cooks and the way she eats. You cannot want to get rid of fat if you continue to eat fat.
Okay.
You've got to allow the body to utilize what is stored, and that is fat that is stored in that area. She's fortunate that it's there. It could have been in her arteries.
Okay.
It could have been somewhere in her brain.
Okay.
Or in her heart. Okay? But it's difficult to move it. However, she needs something that can increase the body temperature so that the blood itself and the body itself can utilize and burn that fat. And she has to change the diet. She's got to come off of the fatty foods that are being consumed to create that problem. Because here's what happens. If we use fatty matter that is greater than the temperature of your body system, it is not going to go anywhere.
So what do you recommend?
Well, first of all, she has to change her diet.
Okay.
Secondly, she needs to find a mechanism like a sauna or something like that that can increase her body temperature to burn that fat that's stored.
Okay.
Thirdly, she needs to get something inside, like a fat burning type of medication or capsule that can increase the blood temperature, increase her metabolic rate to burn the fat. Fourthly, you need to make sure her thyroid is functioning properly.
Okay.
Okay? Because the thyroid will regulate the metabolic system, and that might be one of the problems that you have. What's her body size?
Around about 1 something. The weight she got is about 1 something.
Now that something could be anything.
About 140.
She looks bigger than she needs to be?
No, that.
She doesn't look bigger.
No.
Okay, then she probably has a problem with her thyroid.
Well, what about see if I bring she by you, and there you are. Get a look at her.
I don't have a problem, but you need to call the office and schedule a time and day because, you know, like I said, my schedule is not normal.
Okay, so what's the best day that I could
No, you call the office,
call
the 231 number, and let the girls give you a day and time. Or a day, not necessarily a time, but a day.
Okay.
Right? But she can get help. It's not the end.
Okay.
All right?
Okay then.
Okay, my brother. You take care.
Thank you.
Sure. Bye-bye. Good evening.
Hi, good night, Doc. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good.
Wonderful. Happy New Year.
Yeah, I'd like you to help me or give me some advice. I'm a diabetic, and under my feet
What's your age?
66.
No, man, you're still young.
Oh, yes.
How long you diabetic?
5 years.
5 years.
Yes.
And why are you diabetic?
I don't know. I can't think.
The
Yes.
first thing you need to find out is why you are diabetic.
Oh,
Firstly.
okay.
Secondly, there are answers to diabetes. You don't have to die a diabetic. There are answers to change to the diabetic problem that are out there. You need to make some changes also.
Oh,
You have to look to see what you're doing that is contributing to your elevation of the blood sugar. You have to screen you to see if the organs that are responsible for metabolizing the blood sugar or the sugar or the fats are functioning properly. And then there are formulas that you can use. As a matter of fact, we have a formula that you can use to help to bring your blood sugar down so it's manageable.
but my blood sugar, checking the blood sugar is like between, sometimes hard to get over 120. It's like between 100, 103, 110.
Let me ask you one question.
Yes, sir.
Are you on medication?
Yes, I am.
Good. What will happen to the blood pressure if you don't take the medicine? I mean the blood sugar. What would happen to your blood sugar if you don't take the medicine?
Oh, well, I
Oh,
think about that one.
you got to think about those things. Because what may be happening to you is that the medication that you're on is managing your blood sugar for you.
Okay.
That is not going to help your blood sugar.
Oh, okay. And that would help if, when you manage that, then that would help with
Of
it.
course, it will help. It will be the first step.
Okay.
Secondly, you may have some damaged arteries, some nerves that are, not doing what they're supposed to do to send a signal and all that, right?
Okay.
So we need to correct the first thing, and then you work on the other things.
Okay.
Until you do that, you're not going to be able to get resolution.
Okay.
You got to put the cartridge wrong,
Okay.
right? Where does the card belong?
Okay. So now if I come into you.
Where does the card belong? You answer my question.
Oh, okay.
Where does the card belong?
Behind.
Behind the horse.
Yes.
Right. Got it.
Right.
Don't put the cart before the horse.
Okay, okay.
Don't try to fix that without fixing what's causing it.
Okay. So do you think I could soak the foot in some water?
You could, but you need to make sure that you use your finger to make sure that water is not hotter than it's supposed to be.
Yeah, but sometimes people say you can put Epsom salt, but I'm so scared to put Epsom salt just in case they might have something wrong with the teeth.
No, that's just us wouldn't damage anything.
You sure?
I know.
Put a little bit of that in, or just put it in plain warm water?
Put a little bit of it, it will help. And you can even use a heating pad.
Okay, yeah.
Heating pad is even better because it will maintain the temperature and so on.
Okay.
Right? But you got to look at your diet. You got to look at what's causing the blood sugar to be elevated without medication. You need to know. And all diabetics need to know. At least know what your blood sugar is when you don't take the medicine.
Okay.
And that tells me, and it will tell you, that the organs are not functioning as they should.
So don't take no medication.
No. Oh, don't take it. Maybe how often do you take it?
I take a metformin in the morning and one at night, 500.
All right. What you can do maybe, and don't take this the wrong way. I'm not saying to come off with medication.
Oh, okay.
You can't come off without replacing it with something, right?
Okay.
You need to know what the medium number is without medication. So what you do is if you take it at night, maybe you take the one at night and then don't take the one in the morning.
Okay.
Check it at midday and see where it is.
Okay.
If it's normal, don't take it yet. Check it at night and see what it is.
Okay.
If it's normal, you don't take it again. But first thing the next morning you take it. And if it's where it needs to be, between 8 and 120,
yeah,
then you can learn to manage your blood sugar with the medication. You check with your physician, or you can check with us, and we'll advise you how to manage it, and how to change your diet, and how to do certain things to help to regulate it. Take a formula to replace the tablet so that you could at least, gradually come off, because sometimes the medication that you're on creates a problem for your other organs that causes another problem.
Okay, okay.
Those things happen. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a blessed night.
You too, Darren. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Don't put the cart before the horse. Good evening.
Good evening, Dr. Hill.